Hi, my name is Bill Laboon. I'm the Technical Education Lead here at Web3 Foundation in Zug, Switzerland. And today I'm going to briefly show you how to use Ledger Live to store, send, receive, and stake your DOT. So when you first start Ledger Live, you will be in the Portfolio tab. You may or may not notice that you have accounts there, perhaps for other networks and perhaps for Polkadot if you've already used this. If you have not used this for Polkadot yet, you're going to want to go to the manager here and install the Polkadot app. So in order to do anything, first you'll have to make sure that your ledger is plugged in and unlocked. If you don't see it unlocked, you'll get a notification to unlock it. So just enter your PIN. And you'll see in the app catalog, there will be a list of applications. If the Polkadot app, so Polkadot Dot, is not installed, then you simply click on Install. And it will install after you approve it on the ledger. If you ever want to get rid of it, you can just go to Apps Installed and click on this handy trash can icon next to Polkadot. So once you have this installed, on the portfolio page, you can see all of your DOT. So you can see here that I currently have 2.1192 DOT in an account on my ledger. And I can also see the latest operations. You can see that I have already done a few transactions here. So the first thing you probably want to do is create an account. You can see here I already have several Polkadot accounts. And to add your own account, simply click on Add Account and choose Polkadot. Continue. The ledger will tell you that you need to open the Polkadot app. So I am going to select that. And it tells me Polkadot ready on the ledger. And we can see on the screen that it allows me to add an account. It sees that I already have 3. And we're going to, can't add a new account. Oh, I've already got, I guess I already have too many accounts here. You can see that I've created I've already created a few. So I'm going to close that. I already have too many accounts already. So I'm going to want to receive some DOT. So I click on Receive, and you can see that I can credit some of these different accounts. So here is where we need to discuss the existential deposit. So the existential deposit of 1 DOT is the amount that any account on the Polkadot network needs to exist. So an account cannot exist with half a DOT. It will be immediately reaped. That is, any DOT in it will be burned. So you won't be able to send less than 1 DOT to a new account. But if the account already has at least 1 DOT, you can send as small an increment as you want. Something also to keep in mind here as we start discussing accounts is that the current version of Ledger Live does not support turning off the Keep Alive check. Now, what this means is that once you create an account with Ledger Live and put DOT into that account, there always has to be at least 1 DOT in that account. You will never be able to transfer out that last DOT. Until the software supports turning off the Keep Alive check. But for right now, just be aware that 1 DOT will always stay in your account. So let's receive on Polkadot 2. I'm going to send 0.1 DOT. So this, I see the address here, 13KHZ. This is the address for my account on my ledger. I'm going to copy that by clicking here. And I'm going to verify that on my ledger, it shows me the same address. And it does, 13KHZ. Okay, so I'm going to approve. So address has been shared securely. So now off screen, I am going to send over some 0.1 DOT from a separate account. So again, this is all happening off screen. So I'm sending 0.1, make transfer. And you will see a QR code as I authorize this from a Parity Signer. So don't be alarmed if my face is replaced by a QR code. So the balance has been sent. It has been broadcast to the network, and we should see it back in our portfolio momentarily. And by momentarily, I mean a few blocks. A block in Polkadot is 6 seconds. So after this has been finalized, which should be 3 or 4 blocks from now, we should see the 2.1192 dot go up to around 2.2192 dot. Note that the fees that we are paying here are going to be set. So that if this is not like Ethereum, when we're sending and receiving, we don't need to basically have an auction to be put into a block. The fees are going to be set. There's a separate process called a tip that you can send to try to get into an earlier block, but that's not supported by this version of the Ledger Live Polkadot support. So something to notice, the Ledger Live application here, it supports sending, receiving, staking, but there are many other things that you can do with Polkadot that aren't supported with this. So it's very specific and focused on common things that you would do, but there are obviously many more things that you might want to do. So we're still waiting for this to come in. See if I just go over to a different screen. No, still waiting. Whenever you make videos, things always take longer when you're actually recording them. Well, while we're waiting for that to come in, oh, there we go, of course. Also, as soon as you mention something, that's when it happens. So we can see here that I went from 2.1192 dot to 2.2192 dot. So now I have received that 0.1 dot. I am going to send it. So as you might imagine, you will click on send. So I'm going to debit the Polkadot 2 account, and I am going to send it to an address, which I am getting off screen. So we can hear 15PEZ, continue. And again, remember, you will notice here, even though I have 2.2192 dot, the max that I can actually send is 1.2036. So that's enough to keep 1 dot in my account plus transaction fees. So I'm going to just send 0.1 dot. And you can see my network fees are 0.0154 dot for this. And again, network fees are fixed. I don't need to modify a gas price or anything like that here. Continue. So I'm going to send from my Polkadot 2 account to 15PEZ. And once again, I'm going to have to approve this on my ledger. So I'm looking, it asks me, please review, transfer keep alive. Yes, because all balance transfers with Ledger Live are going to be with Keep Alive. I see the address is 15PEZ. Yep, that's what I'm sending to. I'm sending 0.1 dot, and I'm going to approve. So we are now broadcasting the transaction, and the transaction was sent. So we can see some details of it here that I lost 0.1154 dot, so that's 1 dot plus 154 millidot, 15.4 millidot for the transaction fees. And you can see the transaction hash, the address I was sending from, this is my ledger address, and where I'm sending it to, how I did it, and how much. So now I have 2.1038 dots. So there is some dot here. However, it is a little bit less since I just sent some out. So the last thing that I want to show is staking. So if we go to accounts, I can see nominations. And so I recommend you watch some of my other videos about nominating and staking on Polkadot, because there are some slight differences between how Polkadot does this and how some other networks do it. But again, the focus on this is Ledger Live. So I'm going to click on Earn Rewards, and it says you may earn rewards by bonding your assets and nominating validators. That is, choosing the validators that you wish to put your stake behind. So of course, anytime you nominate in Polkadot, that means you have a chance of getting staking rewards, but you also have the risk of being slashed if your validators misbehave. So it really does make sense for you to read the Polkadot wiki, watch the videos on how to pick out nominators before you actually do any staking. So we are going to continue. And this also warns you that once you bond, then there is a 28-day unbonding period, during which time you will not be able to transfer those funds and you will not get any staking rewards. So if you decide to stop staking, there is a 28-day period on Polkadot where you have to wait before you can do anything. So I am going to bond 1 dot. Note that unlike transfers, I could do much more dot here, right? I can do technically up to the max amount here. Although it's never a good idea to bond all of your funds because you can't use them to pay for fees. And then you might get stuck where you can't unbond because you can't pay the fees for that unbond. So I'm just going to bond 1 dot and continue. It tells me to please review, bond, correct address, 1 dot from the stash, approve. Okay. So we are now awaiting the second part of the staking process, which is actually nominating. And when we're nominating, again, we are putting our stake behind validators. We are saying that we trust those validators to produce blocks, and we're essentially voting for them to be part of what we call the active validator set. So we're going to click nominate. I can see several nominators here. Validators. I can nominate up to 16. Again, I really do recommend that you review how nominations work in a separate video before you do this, because again, your funds are at risk of being slashed, although you also can get staking rewards. So I've picked some validators and continue. And once again, I can review on my ledger. So please review, nominate. It shows the different addresses, the targets, the validators that I am going to nominate. And I click approve. It broadcasts the transaction. So it says you will start earning rewards when your assets are bonded to your elected validators. So this happens on Polkadot once per era, which is every 24 hours. And currently that is in the afternoon UTC time. So around 16:30 UTC, then I should see that I'm nominating some validators, and then hopefully, if all goes well, 24 hours after that, I can start getting staking rewards. So I'll view my details. You can see here that I have nominated. So here, now we go back to my portfolio. You can see that I have a little bit less DOT as I paid fees for some of it. I have 1.0631 available and 1 DOT bonded, and I have several nominations. So hopefully you enjoyed this brief overview of using Ledger Live with Polkadot. Thank you.